About 1 year ago, I took on that very popular program, the Silva Ultramind program, the program that is designed to help you reprogram your subconscious mind, develop your intuitive ability, manifest, attract what you want in your life, and really take control of your mind. And back then, I made a video reviewing the program and what I learned and the takeaway that I had. Since then, I've been getting a lot of questions about how it actually works. How does the mind program, Silva Mind program, actually work? Yeah, and so I decided to finally make a video where we're gonna break down in this video the step-by-step program of what I think, what I believe in my personal experience is the simplest and most effective technique that I've got from the Silva Ultramind method. And this is something I'm still using. I've changed it, molded it in a way that works best for me, and it's been working really, really well. And so I want to share this with you so that you can go try it, experience it without even buying the program. Isn't it great? So let's go straight into it. Now, the core philosophy here that you really have to grasp, that you really have to understand is that one thing that you must really get, the whole program is really about getting into an altered state of consciousness, right? Into a deeper state of consciousness. Just like when you go into deep meditation or into hypnotherapy or any form of modality or healing sessions of this nature. And this is really the core essence. It's all about getting into that state, and then what do you do when you're in that state to communicate efficiently with your subconscious mind, to reprogram your mind toward the desired outcome that you have, whether you want to hear something, develop your abilities, whether you want to create, manifest, achieve certain goals. This is the outcome. Yeah. So first we want to get into that state, and then in that state we want to create and communicate with the subconscious mind using the power of that state. Now you may be wondering, what does that even mean, altered state of consciousness? Very simply, very quick, it's simply slowing down your brain waves, right? If you were to put an EEG on your brain, we can measure the brain activity. And right now, if you're like me, consciously focused, working, talking to you guys, my brain waves will be quite fast into normal working, what we usually call beta brain waves, right? This is the active normal function of the brain on a day-to-day business, for example. What happens is that when you start to relax, what naturally happens is that your brain waves naturally slow down. And at some point when you slow down, you reach alpha. And alpha is this flow state, this intuition, this imagination, this daydreaming state, which is already a very powerful state of consciousness, right? That can already help you produce better, perform better, heal your body. So alpha is a very powerful state. Now, if you go and relax even deeper, your brainwave will slow down even more and you'll end up in theta. Theta is not sleep. You're still there. You're deeply relaxed, but you're still conscious, aware of what's happening, where you are, and what you're doing. But this is really when the door of your subconscious mind opens wide. It's like you enter into the control room of your mind, and in there, you can now start to really communicate deeply with your mind to create, to reprogram, to do whatever it is that you want to do to achieve whatever outcome you may have, right? And if you go all the way deeper, you go into deep sleep. And this is really the essence of the Silva Mind Method. A lot of the teaching, a lot of the tools, a lot of things you do is actually training yourself to go from beta to alpha and theta, and to become better and better and better and better at it so that you can go into the state faster and almost like at command, at will. Yeah? And if you've been following Neville Goddard for many years or any other teachers, Neville Goddard used to refer to this as the state akin to sleep. Same things, different word, but it's a very powerful state. So let's go straight into the how-to. Step one, as I mentioned before, is to know your outcome. What's your goal? What's your outcome? What do you want to create? What do you want to do or achieve through that technique? And here, you've got to be specific. I want more money. I want a lover. I want a better car. This is very vague. Yeah, more money is what, $10, right? So you got to start to sit down and ask yourself, what do I really want? What does it look like? What are the quality? What are the things that I want in that thing? The more precise, the more specific you are, the more clarity, meaning the more power you have to bring exactly what you want in your life. So that's step one. Now, step 2 is when the work actually starts. So this is why I invite you to take 10 to 15 minutes at least of undisturbed time sitting somewhere in a quiet place. And this step is all about getting into that altered state of consciousness from beta to alpha or even to theta, right? Remember, the more you do this exercise, the faster and the deeper you will go. So wherever you end up right now, however easy or struggling you are to relax, it's okay. Start where you are. So I'm going to share with you exactly one tool that I learned from the program to help you relax and go into that state. So after you sit down, you relax, you close your eyes, you take a few breaths, and then you count from 50 backwards all the way to 1. So 50 in your head, right? Mentally repeat 50, 49, 48, and you will go like this all the way to 1. It sounds stupid, it sounds silly, but what you'll find is that the deeper you go into the number, or the lower you go into the number, the more you relax. By the time you reach 1, you'll be in this deep, nice state of quietness, of relaxation. That's all there is to it. Now, please don't overthink this. Please don't make it more complex. Please don't add up things that are unnecessary. Please don't. This is all about stilling the mind. If you go and think, am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? You're still at beta. You're still way too active. So simply trust the process and go back to the numbers and allow your mind to settle and your body to become still. Now, after a week of doing this, you might find that you don't need to go from 50 to 1. In fact, in the program, it recommends to go then to 25 and come back from 1. And then 1 week later, from 10 to 1. Because you get better into the process, your body gets used to it, your mind gets used to it, so you develop some form of mastery, and you'll find that going from beta all the way to alpha and theta becomes easier and much more natural. So this is step 2, getting into that relaxed state. Now, here is a pro tip. Okay, if you really want to put this on steroid and make it faster and better, here are 2 times a day when you are naturally in a state of alpha and theta. The first time is when you first wake up in the morning, right? You first wake up in the morning, you're still sleepy, you're still over the place, you're still emerging, meaning your brain waves are going from delta and they're slowly going back all the way to beta. So instead of taking your phone and start scrolling and catching up on all the dumb stuff on your social media, this is a perfect opportunity to plan the day, to program your mind for whatever it is that you want, whatever the outcome is. Often you don't even need to count backwards because you're already there. But if you want to, you can start from 10 all the way down to 1 and then move into step 3. Okay? Now, the second best time of the day is just before you fall asleep at night, because again, your body preparing for sleep, your brain waves are naturally slowing down, so you're naturally going from beta to alpha to theta and all the way into sleep. So that room, that opportunity, the window of opportunity opens up by itself, and you can deepen it and improve your sleep at the same time by simply counting back as you are laying down in your bed and helping you really relax until you're just about to fall asleep, and then go into step number 3, which is, what do I do now that I'm in that deep state of relaxation? And this is the transformation work. And again, it's very simple. And this is something that a lot of teachers talk about. This is something I talk about a lot about my channel, and it's about visualization. So in the program, it simply recommends to build a screen, a mental screen in your mind. So the way it looks for me, it's like I've got this control room. It's like I enter the control room of my mind, literally, and I have a screen. And on the screen, it controls my mind. That's my vision. But you can create the screen in whichever way or form or shape or color you want. It doesn't matter. Yeah. So once you imagine that screen, all you have to do is visualize, see on the screen of your mind that outcome that you had at step 1. So you have to see what you want as it being done. It's done now, right? So you're not in a process, you're not learning, you're not trying, you're not figuring out how. It's done. So you create a scene that naturally shows the end result. And if you can add as much sensory detail as possible, for example, of course you can see it, but you can hear it, you can feel it, right? The sensation of, like, you know, feeling the gratitude or the success or the happiness or whatever the feeling may be, right? You may even feel certain things in a scene, right? Or you can, in some event or context, I guess you can smell or taste certain things as well. But the more sensory output you can bring and attach there, the more vivid it becomes to the subconscious mind. And that's very, very important. But again, if you're starting into this, if you're learning about this, and if it's not clear and if it's fuzzy, it's okay, don't overthink it. The more you practice visualizing, the better you will get at it. The more clearer, the faster, the easier it will get. So wherever you're starting from, please keep it simple. Take it from where you are and keep learning. It's like when you've learned anything in your life. The first time you were not good at it, but then you keep at it and you become better and better and better. So all you have to do in step 3 is to see the end result. It's done, appreciate the success, see the scene, really get connected with the sensory detail and the feeling, and try to create that sense of certainty about that outcome. Repeat the scene a few times, and then, you know, either drift to sleep or simply say, thank you, I surrendered to my subconscious mind. That's what I do. And then open your eyes and you go back and, you know, do whatever you have to do that day. And so in essence, those 3 steps is the simplified process from the Silva Ultramind or Mind Method, whatever they call it these days, that I've got, that I've learned, and that personally I've been using. This is the one thing that I've been using, that I've, you know, made my own, and that I still use. I use it first thing in the morning, and I use it just before I fall asleep at night. And for me, it's, you know, visualizing is something I've been doing for years. It's something that is part of my routine. It's something that I really I can't speak enough of how important and how life-changing it is to create, because if your mind is like a GPS, if you can input a clear destination over and over and over again, your mind will find a way to get there. And I can tell you a lot of story. I mean, I manifested, you could say, this condo and moving in here before I even seen this place, before I even knew it was on the market, right? So I had an image of the type of condo I wanted to move in. When I was preparing for my Spartan race or my next one in 2 months, I'm already seeing myself, you know, going through those obstacles, crossing the finish line. You know, so there's so many different ways that you can use this, depending on, first, what is your outcome, what are you working on, to really help your mind, you know, get into this and convey exactly what you want to achieve, what you want to create in your mind. The core thing here is, if you do it once and you expect some miracles to happen in your life, you're gonna get fuck all. And, you know, just sorry to break it down to you, but if you're lazy, life will be lazy with you. Taking control of your mind and taking control of your life is your job. So if you half-ass your way, don't expect life to not half-ass, you know, its result with you. This is where we have to take responsibility, and this is, again, just my personal philosophy. You know, some people might tell you I'm wrong, delusional, whatever, but that's the way things are working for me. That's the way I believe it. That's the way I see it, is that you gotta take control of what goes on in your mind, and you gotta do it over and over and over again until you start seeing some difference. Sometimes it's fast, sometimes it takes longer. So I hope this video helps you. It's a very simple process. Please keep it simple. This is not something that you have to, you know, drive yourself crazy into making more complicated than it needs to be. Try it, apply it, give it a try for 30 days and see what happens. Hey, you might just end up creating some amazing magic in your life and creating some really cool stuff. And if you do, come back in the video and make sure you write down your success story and share it with people to inspire and help others. And with that, guys, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'll see you next time. Be well.